We're going to be talking about TikTok and lead generating.
Yeah.
I've watched you pivot through the years, and I love where you're at right now with your social presence. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about how leads come through, and then how you quarterback them, and how you talk to them, how you nurture them, and what your long-term play is as far as you can plan, right, on social. Not very far into the future, but when you're looking at social, what it looks like for the rest of this year. So with that, everyone, we've got Zachary Faust from the big, giant, massive state of Delaware.
Yep. Second most massive state to
Second most massive.
Rhode Island. Rhode Island. I think Rhode Island's smaller. I think.
I love it.
I wasn't much of a geologist.
That's even better.
Yeah. So the overarching plan, I'd love to, can I pick out that part? Because that's been really hard. It's been really tough. Like, how do you plan around social media?
Because it's always changing.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest challenge.
Yeah. So I think for us, we keep peeling back the onion, going back a layer, and realizing that the goal isn't encompassing enough. And so for right now, it's just being hyper local and engaging with our locale. That's really all the content is focusing into, because even when we're talking about real estate, we're still talking about a local niche. I'm not talking about the Nebraska market. I talk about our Kent County market. And so developing that brand of hyper niche, almost virality, even if it's been about, and we'll get into it, a cheeseburger, which cheeseburger spot's the best. It's connecting in their brain, this person Delaware, this person Delaware, this person Delaware, and it's giving us the opportunity to step into the pedestal of this person Delaware. Oh, Delaware real estate. Okay, and we're seeing that connection happen more and more. So I'm excited for this conversation. And by the way, I have an hour pegged. I just looked and saw it's only 30 minutes, but whatever we do, we do.
30 minutes. So we're gonna get all the nuggets out of you, man. So when we're looking at Follow Up Boss and how most teams and agents and brokerages use it, we use it as a central hub to throw in multiple sources of leads, clients, just our big database. And then from there, we decide who we call, who we reach out to. But the way you're using TikTok and social, I feel like it's a secondary CRM, if not even your primary one. And then you would throw in people into Follow Up Boss to nurture them. How do you work with two CRMs? One as a database, one as a database that's almost like continuously changing and alive.
Alive. I like that.
I mean, it's always.
I would say the same way you said it. I'd just flop them. I would say TikTok's a second. I have a lot of secondary CRMs, Facebook DMs, Instagram DMs. We all have our text inbox, our email inbox. I mean, those are all kind of mini secondary CRMs. And at the end of the day, how I do it, I get them in the FUB. I send them a DM saying, hey, TikTok DMs kind of stink. Text me. And I give them my FUB number and they right into my FUB. I gotta get them in the FUB, man. I'm so unorganized. I'm chronically like this. What's the word? Like I can put something down and completely forget it's there. It's if I put my wallet down, it is gone from my reality for that time being, and I may never find it again. And so if I don't give them the opportunity to log themselves in my system, pop up, hey, this person's ready to talk, I could very well forget about it. It's a poor quality of mine.
I see that.
Absent-mindedness.
You've been on TikTok for a bit now. You were one of the first people to jump in. I think the first real estate that I saw on there way back. And I thought that was really cool of you to do. Now though, it's changed. The US has a massive amount of people on it, which is awesome. How have you changed your plan for this year? Because I always see you testing things out, and I always see that certain things work better and other things are like, oh, they didn't work as well. And what seems to be working, and what direction are you going in with this?
Right now, like as we sit on this call, I would say right now that the three things that are working right now are the consistent messaging. I'm noticing the moment I'm swapping into anything else, almost like YouTube, right? YouTube's very popular and been known for like speak to one audience, only speak to one audience, make content for that audience. TikTok's growing that way. And I largely think it's because they're pushing for a bigger SEO presence. And so they want channels to be, this is you, this is you, this is you, like websites are. That's why Google's so good, is because it knows this website's about this website's about that. If channels follow a similar suit and they force algorithmically channels to focus on one specific hyper niche, it means a couple things. But one thing it means for me is I have a specific niche I can fill the need for in someone that wants to know about Delaware. So I've pretty much taken on like Delaware influencer for the locale, and largely because of the SEO that I think TikTok's building. The second thing that's working right now is live. Live is the thing that anybody could go off and do on any one of their platforms right now. I think Instagram's doing really well with it. YouTube now has a vertical live platform you can do right on your phone. TikTok, if you have the following for it, is bananas right now. I think for a few reasons. One, I think because there is a barrier of entry for creators, not just anybody can go live. So I think that creates a little bit supply and demand. B, I think there's a lot of people who don't have the stones to get on live, and there's just lots of people doing it. And I can tell you right now, Tristan, we'll show you the numbers later between the third thing I'm going to mention in this. It's generated so many leads. I'm going to bring it up on a screen. I got a little thing, but between the lives combined with number 3, and number 3 is the remarketing. That's the paid side of TikTok. But man, it's taken the national powerhouse of TikTok's algorithm and allowed us to say, hey, only show that to these people. They happen to be in an area I can sell homes. Because Delaware. We're selling exactly. Yeah. Go figure. So it's this powerhouse of a platform that's largely uncontrollable because you don't know where the content's going.
Interesting, man. Well, you know where the content is going because you've narrowed down enough to say everything Delaware that has to do with the personality that I have and the people that I'm attracting to Delaware. So you have that. What you've done further is be able to remarket to those people so they continually see you and remember you. Now, do you bring them back to your TikTok? Do you take them outside to a website? What does remarketing look like for you?
Right now, all the remarketing is keeping people on TikTok. That's been my strategy for the most part, all across the board. Is simple framework is link in bio everywhere that is going back to an easy one-track lander. So just an easy landing page about what they're expecting. And then if you're really a G or know somebody that's a G in the tech industry, in the tech world for you, installing a cookie on that so you can remarket to them is a big deal too, like the pixels and things of that nature.
I like that. Well, dude, I'm looking at your TikTok right now.
Yeah.
So
that's that one page lander right there. So click on that real fast. Yeah. So click on that. That's an easy one page lander. So you see, boom, let's work together. This is an easy, really one click. It's not really formatted for desktop, to be honest with you, because it's in a TikTok bio.
Nobody jumps on TikTok.
So you're not showing off a really fun page, but it's just an easy schedule a call. I had 2 of those calls today between people on this one. And then we have another one for YouTube. That one is a little bit more formatted.
Oops, sorry. I accidentally muted you. You can unmute yourself. There you go. I was trying to click on your TikTok and it muted you by accident.
But I wanted to answer your question because I really don't feel like I did of what the call to action of the videos are and what videos am I running as ads that is generating leads. The ones that perform, I put money behind. It's easy. Here, the formula is simple. We post content that's hyper local, hyper niche, and we push it out to a national audience that is TikTok, right? That national audience is the best small group of informants I could ever ask for. If I said, hey, can this group of 10 people tell me you like this video or not like this video? All 10 of those people are going to be like, no one's going to give me below a 7 out of 10. No one wants to be mean. No one's going to tell me, oh, I didn't like the hook. No one's going to tell me the music's weird. No one's going to tell me that text made them feel itchy. They're not going to tell me that. But you know what is going to tell me? The TikTok algorithm. If that video doesn't get pushed, it's because it sucks. It's because people weren't watching it. So if I have something that's about a local brewery, do decently on a national algorithm, get 10,000, 20,000 views, I'm like, well, maybe I need to throw $50 behind that against people locally who know what that is. And that's really going to pop. And then
So when
all
you
of it's
put behind it, do you add the link, that landing page as well to it so people can visit that, or what's the call to action?
No. So no. The call to action is the content. All right. In a sense. So my call to action is them watching it. Because if they watch my content on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, right? You watch more than 15 seconds and you're in Delaware, I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen to you. You're going to start seeing our content everywhere. And it's going to go all these different places. So if you get retargeted by one ad, it's just a remarketing, hey, TikTok video, whatever. My only goal for that video is for you to watch it. That's my only call to action. I don't want you to work with me. I don't want you to work for me. I don't want you to work out with me. I don't want any of that. I just want you to watch it, enjoy it, and be like, that guy, Delaware. And then I want that to happen 96 times so that either A, when it comes time to buy, sell, invest, or know somebody, I'm the first person you think of, or B, all these other things you're seeing on all these other platforms that do have strong call to actions do bring you in when the time is right. Because I think the hardest part about our job isn't talking to somebody when the time is right. I think a lot of us are very good at that. I think the hardest part about our job is knowing when the time is right and that message being right in front of them, ready and able. And that's where things like remarketing kind of solves a lot of that.
I agree with you on that. It's interesting how I just thought about Delaware and real estate. I'm sure I know other agents, but there's no agents I could think of that.
It's a small state. There's only like 7 of us, so.
I know, but I'm just saying, the only one. It's so interesting. Was that the idea?
Yeah, that's the idea. Of course. Yeah. Be the only one. And be the only one for certain people. I think we downplay ourselves and we look at the big dogs and we're like, no, they want to work with them. Like, no, that's the big dog in your reality. What happens when someone reaches out from New York City and they go to YouTube and they look up relocating to Delaware and they see my mug first? Guess who is going to watch the video? Them. And then they watch 3 more. And then they start seeing ads. And then they see me for 2 months going around on their YouTube page. And then they finally make the call. And guess what? They're going to call me and be like, we see you everywhere. You're the big dog down there. You're the only guy. I'm the only person they've seen because we just keep pushing the same content they're expecting to see. And it's valuable and it's niched to Delaware real estate.
All right. You've got something to show me. Show me what you wanted to share with me.
Well, I would love to just kind of show some of the numbers on
please.
My computer's been liable to not like Zoom screen share, but we're gonna give this our best shot.
It works. I see you.
Oh, baby. All right. So this was a presentation made by my lovely assistant, Adrian. Did a great job. Thank you, Adrian.
Great job, Adrian.
Looking into this, I just kind of want to show you the numbers behind what we're talking about. So these are 3 ads that were organic content. So that's a big step. Real quick, is that all of our ads were only putting money on TikTok. And I want to be simple with this because I confuse myself when I say it.
All right, I like it. I like some decent views on these, man. Look at this. I figured when I saw the 2024 housing rant before you put money behind it, I knew that was going to be a good one, dude. So that was a good one. I loved that.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And so the point of all 3 of these videos, I'm going to put a QR code at the end if you want to look at them. Yep. There's a few things that all 3 of them have in common. One, obviously they have to do with Delaware, real estate, all that, whatever. Number 2 is they're all long form videos that were posted on my page before they were ads. They were organic content. Okay. These were not directly ads. The only reason I put money behind them is because they began to perform. Now, my level of performance and your level of performance are different. Everybody's level of performance are different. You have to know your metrics. If you know the average views you get is 8 and you get something that's 180, that's performing. Okay. So in this case, these videos too, Tristan, I want you to notice, look how long they are. People look at TikTok and they're like, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 60 seconds. The last video is a second short of 10 minutes long. The one you reference is a second short of 10 minutes.
Damn, man.
And on TikTok, that's an eternity.
Crazy.
That's an eternity.
Yeah.
So the last thing these three things all have in common is the thing that I think when you talk about, hey, we always got to be shifting, we got to be fluid with social media, which is so right, is the fact that we're speaking a lot in these videos to the buyer that's struggling, the seller that's stuck, the under 38-year-old individual that sees an economy that kind of stinks right now from their perspective. And a lot of this content is extremely empathetic to that person. I've said it before with you, that I think everyone should have an avatar, like a person they speak to. And my guy's always been named Eric. And Eric's grown up with me as I've grown my career. And my guy, Eric, is 33 years old with a young family, girls 4 and 7, and 2 good, solid careers. But if I keep that avatar in my head throughout my career, that guy right now is in a platform where either A, he doesn't own a home and he's looking up at this housing market like, what the heck do I do? Or he owns his home, probably has a lower interest rate, and is also like, man, we're kind of growing and I don't know how I could make a non-parallel move out of this house. So if that's my avatar, how do I start making content for that guy? And this is kind of what I landed on. And it's working. And you would think telling people not to buy it wouldn't work, but it's working drastically. Like, I'm combining this with, like, I'm going live now and I'm doing my cold calls live on TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that.
I've seen a couple.
It's working,
and
dude.
On live, what's the purpose? What is Eric still your avatar when you're calling live, or did that avatar change for your lives?
No, he's still my avatar, because I play some music in the background. I keep it light. I'll even stop and I'll just chat it up. It's very for that person. If I was going live, for example, if I knew I was targeting, Rosetta, and she's a 57-year-old, I'm on Facebook Live, that's going to be a different tonality. I'm going to talk at a slower pace. I'm going to move differently, talk differently. I'm going to cause less distraction. It's going to be much more to the point. Where on TikTok, it's a different atmosphere. And those lives right now, I can tell you what's working is keeping people engaged. That's what works. And it's really hard to do that when you're talking about real estate. So
Yeah.
For me, what's worked is empathetic content that I'm posting, remarketing that empathetic hyperlocal content to my local audience, and running lives almost on a daily basis. Last week, I spent on live in the last 7 days on TikTok 19 hours and 26 minutes on TikTok Live.
You're killing 2 birds with 1 stone, probably more.
I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I also made 235 phone calls during that time and set 7 appointments with commenters, not even counting the calls. So, and it's getting DMs, and it's creating also this hyper storm of, if people engage with your live, TikTok will show you more content by that creator. If people watch your ad, they'll show you more content from that creator. So all these different things that are happening, these long videos that we're posting, the ads that we're getting, they're generating comments, they're generating DMs. And that's what's on this page. This was taken, this was 2 weeks ago. And all these leads came within a 24 to 48 hour period.
Damn, man. Look at Melissa. Hey, Zach, I'm wanting to list.
Yeah, Melissa's already signed. We already have a buyer for it too. That came from YouTube.
And then this one came from TikTok. I love
Melissa
this.
Came from TikTok. Yep. Hillary has a showing today with Patricia. Tuner guy, he's getting his credit fixed. Amy is super, super good to go. She was better off than she let off. Gadsden ghosted us, but outside, dude, it's like 9 out of 10 are like really good.
This is great, man. So these are bottom of the funnel leads when they message you directly.
I'd argue that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And you're taking the time to build them out. So right now, the lives, are those the ones that are working the best for bringing in people that are interested? Or would you say it's the ads that you put money behind, the organic content? What's working the best for you?
Ads are last. Ads are always going to be last. It's like ads are like chocolate syrup, man. I'd never, ever, ever just sit and eat a bowl of chocolate syrup. It's never going to happen. But if you got all the ice cream, if you got all the other fixings below it, and you did the foundational work, chocolate syrup snaps. It's great. But you got to have the organic content going out first. If you just put money behind it, you just throw ads at it, you're just gonna be like, this is dumb, this is stupid, this doesn't perform. That guy doesn't know what he's talking about. You got to put out organic content. We're putting out 1 to 2 posts every single day on the weekdays to see what works. And then the lives, I'd say for anyone listening, if you have access to TikTok Live, do it today. Do it today. Do something. Whether it's just getting on, you can use the green screen and you could put up your notes, a screenshot from your notes section talking about trying to get pre-approved. Here are the 4 items. And then just as people are coming through talking about it, you could sit there on your porch and just talk loans. There's a jillion. We could sit here and do this all day. Go live because it's growing audiences. You're finding new people to talk to. And I can point out Nikki, Amy, and who is I can't see her name. It's a top right person. Her name's Kimberly. That all 3 had originally sourced from the TikTok Live.
No way, man. That's great. So yeah. when you're telling people to go live, saying go live, it works. Go live for a longer period of time, right? Talk about something. What is that something that you're telling me?
Well, you're hyper niche. It's still got to focus around where your content's focused. Don't go live talking about pizza if you're selling homes. Mortgage lenders, realtors, I feel you have a great opportunity to educate in this scenario. Where I'm seeing success is seeing people who are doing Q&As, people who are focusing around a specific point of knowledge and saying, ask me about it. I'll give something someone can steal if they'd like. I'd prefer not to. But this Friday, we're launching a live talk show, a live call-in show live on TikTok. Myself and one other TikTok creator who's pretty big are going to be meeting up live in studio, and we're going to be giving it. There'll be a number on the screen that we're posting and in the caption, like call this number and ask us real estate finance. We're going to answer it live on TikTok. And we feel we'll be, again, killing 2 more birds with 1 stone. Because we don't have to think about the content up front. The caller will create the content.
And questions that pertain to real estate or questions that pertain to something else?
In that case, it's going to be real estate finance for the millennial Gen Z. We're really going anti Dave Ramsey with this. I love
show. That, man. That could be a magnificent show. In fact,
hopefully,
think about that further. With a lot of people diving into the NAR settlement, the proposed NAR settlement, that'd be a great for the people that have talked a lot about it. Why not talk live on TikTok, right?
Yeah. And the beautiful part about TikTok is it's like a Fox News where it's like every 10, 15 minutes, there's just a new grouping of people that are watching you. So you can almost just continually talk about the same things.
You can go in a circle. It's like, for those of you, just join me. Let me start all over. That's interesting, man.
What else am I not covering well enough for us to take action on? I know I talk fast and
let me see. I've got a couple questions here. Yeah. One of them is, if you don't know what to niche into, where do you start?
Well, I'd niche into something that's going to eventually put dollars in your pocket, but comes from a point of value and talent. And those things all kind of co-align. You have to be doing content around something that you're going to profit off of in some way, shape, or form, whether it's your brand in the end, whether it's a business you're going to sell off, whether it's something you're selling. You got to have that. So A. B, having it be something that you enjoy / are good at, I'd say is a necessity. And C, if it's real estate, you got to get niched down into it deeper. So like if it were sports, it's not just football. It's like, I'm talking young rookies 2 and 3 years in, and I'm taking it as the perspective of a coach who never made it to the league. That's my niche. Like that's what I could do. Like in the real estate world right now, I am the millennial Gen Z voice who's on the side of the young homeowner, young wannabe home buyer that cannot get in. And I'm aligned with them. I'm educating them from a perspective of I am you. And that's my niche within it. And that's the messaging that I'm creating.
Dude, it's totally clear. When I'm reading these DMs, it's exactly what that is. All right, Zach, so then what's next for you? What are you focusing on next? You already told us a little bit, which is this amazing new, I love this, like a radio type of live TV, social media TikTok show, right? The anti Dave Ramsey approach,
Yeah.
by the way,
Yeah.
is awesome. I love that. That's one. What is next? What else are you shifting into or testing out?
I want to answer
That you can tell me
cautiously.
about. How's
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, because honestly, man, there's not much cooking in the stove that's new. It's a lot of 2-3 year old recipes. It's a lot of things that we're just adding little spices onto.
Well, what are you adding spices to? Because you're always testing new things out on TikTok, on
Right now,
social.
I mean, this will be my first 20-hour week on TikTok Live. Last week was. I'm
Okay.
testing more and more of that. I would highly suggest dipping toes more into that. I'm testing as of I think Thursday, we have our first YouTube video that's going to actually 100% just repurpose over to Instagram because you can post up to 30-minute videos. So we're going to test that. We have a new TikTok channel that we're launching specifically for posting our YouTube videos cut up. So if it's a 52-minute video and we can only post 10 minutes, it'll be in 5 parts, but it'll exist for the SEO of TikTok because I think right now it's an SEO wasteland. But TikTok's made it very clear via their analytic changes on the back end for creators and some of their moves, like I said earlier, like they're trying to hyper niche channels. They're all SEO moves because honestly, as a company, that's a fantastic move profitability wise. You see what Google did.
Yeah.
So I view it as I need to get my SEO focused YouTube content onto TikTok before it becomes a YouTube playground or a SEO playground. I want to get my stuff first. Like if I could buy Nike.com 30 years. Yeah, I wish I bought Nike.com the first day the internet came out. I was too busy being born.
Yeah. What were you thinking? It's like, come on.
I was selfish, honestly. I was too distracted. I got to be focused, man.
I guess better focus. Exactly.
Better focus. And that, to answer your question on what's new, it's just the focusing on what's working and just like, all right, cool. Where's another fruit I can squeeze juice out of? Like, where's more juice out of this one? Like, I know there's more juice. Where is it? It was a weird way of putting it. It's probably creepy.
But. I like that. I like lower your voice. Where's some more juice? All right. Are you going to be duplicating what you're doing on TikTok into Instagram, into anywhere else, or is it just TikTok focused?
It's funny how Instagram seems to be like the 8-month lag of TikTok in a lot of ways. So yeah, I could see myself going more on the Instagram side right now. I mean, there's not much push for it. People are not engaging with the product as much as consumers. And so that's the lean toward TikTok right now. It's working because people are watching it. There's a demand for it. Right now, there's not really demand for it. It seems like, at least within the market I'm going after. I have done multi-stream efforts, and I could tell you from an hour of being on Instagram, hour of being on TikTok, the new audience, like people who don't follow me seeing the live, was 0 on Instagram, and it was over like 1,200 accounts on TikTok. So just for that factor alone, like impact into new markets, yeah, maybe I can connect with my followers over here, but over here I'm doing that and creating new opportunity. So that's where I'm focused heavy in, and TikTok's also heavily invested in us. And TikTok could disappear. There's probably people thinking, oh, well, TikTok could go away. Well, then that means the attention's going to go somewhere, and then maybe it is an Instagram.
Yeah, or YouTube or X.
YouTube
X is gaining momentum, right? At least
I hope
a lot of people. It's a little crazy in there. It's a little crazy. But yeah, man, a lot of opportunities. A lot of opportunities. So I'm glad you did this with us, especially showing us how people DM you through the content that you create. I think it's valuable because a lot of people think it's a myth. So I love that you put that there. Zach, thanks so much, man. I know we're going to do a Google PPC one as well. And
yes,
thanks for jumping in. I appreciate you.
Of course, my friend. Appreciate you. All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Talk to you later, T. You're the man.